Rachel, what would you do with a car fit? And I'll let you take it away to make sure that Virginia is properly set up as a driver in this vehicle.
Well, it's quite simple. We're just going to go over a checklist here to make sure that everything in the car is fitting you properly. So what I'd like to start with is asking you to put your seatbelt on for me. And what I'm looking for here is that she's able to put the seatbelt on with ease, that the shoulder belt is coming across the chest and to the shoulder, and that the lap belt is low on the hips, not on the belly. You want that shoulder belt to keep your chest in place in case of an accident.
Okay.
Now, Virginia, did you know on your B-pillar here you have adjustment for the height of the seatbelt? And I would recommend that she raise this up a little bit so that we get more across the collarbone.
Okay.
So Virginia, why don't you go ahead and squeeze those buttons and pull that up a bit. So cars do have the adjustment here where they can go up or down depending on the height of the driver.
All right.
So the belt is being used correctly, and if you could go ahead and unbuckle now for me. Next, we're going to look at your steering wheel. The first question I'm going to ask you is if you're able to view the speedometer easily.
Yes.
Very good. And what we're looking for there is that the steering wheel isn't blocking their view of any of the instrument panels. So the next thing I'd like to show you is that your steering wheel can tilt up or down. And there's a little adjustment on your left, you know where that's at. And what you're looking for is that your chin is even with the top of the steering wheel. That's mostly for airbag safety. So when the airbag comes out, your face is safe from the airbag. Next thing we're going to look at is the head restraint, which is behind you. And yours is set up perfectly. If we were talking to a taller individual, a lot of times they have it too low. The head restraint should be just where Virginia's is at, directly behind the middle of the head. And that's to help prevent whiplash in case of a rear-end crash. Okay, next thing we're going to look at is how far back you're sitting from the steering wheel. And I have a ruler with me today. So what I'd like you to do, Virginia, is to take the ruler, 12 inches. This should be able to fit between the steering wheel and your chest. Perfect. We don't want to be any closer than that, again, for airbag safety. We want to be as far back as possible. So that looks great there. So you're about 12 inches, which is very good. Okay, next thing I would like to do is check your line of sight. And that's to make sure that you're sitting up high enough and you're able to see over the steering wheel easily. So if you can imagine right now, you're driving and there's a pesky crack in your windshield. Where would that be? When my finger gets to that point, I'd like you to tell me to stop.
I would think right there.
Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is take my ruler, and when the top of the ruler meets that same point, so just remember that point now, I would like you to tell me to stop.
Stop.
Very good. We're about 5 inches. Minimum is 3 inches, so she's seeing well above the steering wheel.
Oh, so
very
you're
good.
adjusting how much sight above the steering wheel.
Absolutely.
So at a minimum 3 inches above, and more is better.
Absolutely. More you can see over, the better. And someone more petite, shorter end like myself, that can be difficult sometimes, so she has it set up quite well. Some cars do have adjustments where you can actually raise the seat up. Other things like pillows, they make special cushions and pillows where you could sit up a bit higher. We don't recommend phone books.
Okay.
Okay, next thing we're going to do is I'm going to check and make sure that you're able to reach your pedals comfortably. So if you can push the gas pedal down for me. Very good, and then move to the brake pedal. And just go back and forth a few times. And what I'm looking for here is that she's keeping her heel planted on the ground, not picking her foot up too much as she moves back and forth. And then also that she's not driving with 2 feet. We'll see people sometimes where they brake with their left foot and accelerate with the right.
And that's not a recommended practice.
No, we do not recommend that. The only time it's okay to drive with 2 feet is a manual transmission. And she was able to push each pedal down with ease, not too much strain, so very good. Nice strong legs.